Ahoy, my friends, Ryder here, and welcome to another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. Today we are heading into the event, and we're going to be taking on the new Shinra Building Dungeon Ranking event. I always love these events, particularly because, you can find a way to get S+ on all three of these stages, but then honing and refining the map over time in order to maintain that top 100 ranking, I feel like it's just really fun overall for me. So for all you guys out there, and I know there's all different kinds of players that are following my guides, I have come up with 3 separate betas. For those of you that don't know, beta is a rock climbing term for the way to do something. So essentially it's another word for strategy. So I have 3 different betas for this very hard map. The first one's going to be the easiest to do. So this guide today is going to be the easiest way to get through it, to get an S+ while still maintaining a score boost of 20%, and you're going to maintain a physical attack boost of 40% throughout the fight, right? So the second beta, which will be a separate video, you're going to end up fighting the Astral Giant with 25% physical attack boost, but 30 score boost. And then the last strategy I'm going to try is going to be taking on the Astral Giant with 40 score boost and a physical attack rating of -5%. So today's going to be the easiest one, 40 physical attack boost and 20 score boost. So I'm just going to show you guys how we're going to do this. So why don't we go in here to the map. So you're going to start out over here. The very first opponent we're going to take on is Rufus right here. And we are going to choose the physical attack boost of 20% from him. After we take out Rufus, we're going to go down here to the Scorpion, the Assault Scorpion. All right. And when we beat this one, we are going to take the score boost from him. After beating him, we're going to go up to the first Iron Giant right here. And we're going to take this one down, and we are going to also take the score boost. After that, we're going to move our way over to the dragon right here. And when we beat the dragon, we're going to take the physical attack boost. And then after beating the dragon, we're going to go to the final boss right here, the Astral Iron Giant. And we're going to take this guy down. A couple things of note, I'm bringing 2 Healing Asuna Poisons. If the fatigue in the fight against Rufus is messing up your vibe in the fight, you can bring a Healing Asuna Fatigue. I think since Rufus is the first one, you don't really need to worry about it. Other than that, we're not going to worry about the specimen H0512. And I will say that this dungeon is very catered to the FF9 crossover event. And I do have Zidane's sword on Cloud, but I'm actually not going to bring it into this to show you guys that even if you don't have this weapon with Cloud, you can bring Murasame and the Maritime sword, or, Murasame and Hard Edge, or Murasame and Apocalypse, or Maritime Sword and Apocalypse. There's a bunch of different variations that you can do with Cloud. Of course, the Astral Giant at the end is going to be completely resistant to all elements, so we will be doing damage against him by using the Ruin Blow. But Tifa over here is going to be using Amaron's Claws to do a decent amount of damage against the final boss. He is susceptible to physical and magic defense down, so Aerith's Sun Umbrella is going to come in handy for sure. But let's just go over the overall setup for the characters, and I will show you kind of how I built them right here. So here are the top R abilities. Going into stats, Cloud is sitting at 76k power, 7.5k HP, and almost 3.2k physical attack. I am running him the costume from the event, so Zidane's garb. However, I think that this also works with the Maritime costume. I think you could use the Battle Garb. I mean, I think the costumes, you can make a lot of them work. Okay, so in the first slot, I do have Murasame, OB10, Maritime Sword, OB7, second slot. Then you are going to run your limit breaks in this fight, just because although the limit break or the summons can be very useful throughout the several crisis bosses going up to the final, Astral Iron Giant is completely resistant to elemental damage, so it basically negates your summons in the last fight. So you do want to bring your non-elemental limit break attacks, right? So we do have the level 8 Cross Slash here. I'm bringing D-Brave because the last Iron Giant will cast a massive physical attack buff up on himself. And then we're also going to use Tifa to bring down that physical attack. So we do have D-Brave in the first slot right here. In the second slot, I have my first Healing Asuna Poison, which also acts as a single target cure. And then in the third slot, we are going to have Triangle Ruin Reblow. The sigils that you will need for this fight will be Triangle and X. Triangle is going to be more heavily used, but X is still going to be important, so I'm going to show you how we work those in there. Going into the sub-equips, I have the Glare Reed here in the first slot, the Crystal Gloves, and then the Buster Sword. Alright, so going over to Aerith right here, she's sitting at 70k power, 7.8k HP, 2000 magic attack, and 2000 healing. I am running her with Garnet's costume right here, but at the same time, I think that you could run the beach costume as well, or even the costume from the gear voucher would also work. Of course, Fairy Tail up here in the first slot, so we get that massive healing boost. The Sun Umbrella is going to be very, very, very effective in this fight, so if you do have it, it is useful. You can sub it out for the Mithril Rod, although the timing of that one is much harder to use. I would say the Mithril Rod is more advanced player style, so it can be tricky. I do love Aerith's Limit Break right here, the Healing Wind, as opposed to Seal Evil. Seal Evil is a good one as well, but I love the Regan from this. In her materia slots, we have Healing Asuna Poison. That's our second one. All right, so that's going to be taking on the dragon. I do have a Watera on here just for some extra damage. And then here we have our second Triangle Ruin Reblow. All right. Going into the sub-equips, I have the Lifeguard Wraps, the Thousand Waves, and the Beach Parasol. And last but not least, here we have Tifa sitting at 63k power, 7.6k HP, 2.3k physical attack. And I am running her Amarant's Guise and Amarant's Claws. If you don't have these, you really need non-elemental damage to take down the strong Astral Giant at the end. If you absolutely don't have it, you can take out the Specimen instead, but there are a lot of non-elemental weapons out there. You know, there's Apocalypse, Tifa has a couple on her own. I think this one right here is actually, yes, this is physical non-elemental damage. So in her second slot here, this is an important one. I am running the Leather Gloves, so this is going to reduce physical attack from mid to potency high in 2 casts, which is really important for the final Astral Giant fight. So I'm sure a bunch of you guys probably have this sitting around. I just happen to have a dupe of it, so I've got it OB1 and then leveled it up to 80, since I think 80 is more or less like good enough for 99% of content, so I save a lot of my mithril ore. All right. As for her materia and limit breaks, of course, running Water Kick. I would run Somersault if it went immediately to high, but it doesn't, so therefore Aerith's Sun Umbrella will take care of that. I'm running her Breach for the Astral Iron Giant fight later on, just to help out. She is the only one running a X Sigil Ruin Reblow, so keep that in mind, that you have to have at least one on there, so I have it on Tifa. But then she also has a Triangle Sigil Ruin Reblow as well. And one thing to note is that Rufus has a counter ability that will counter magic damage. So I believe it's magic damage for Rufus. I can't remember quite exactly. It's either counters all magic or counters all physical. Now I'm like having like a brain fart, but anyway, I took all physical Triangle Sigil materias to fight Rufus right off the bat. Alright, so overall, that is my setup, and let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. We're going to run through this. We're going to get S+ right now. This is going to be the easiest way to do it for even all kinds of free-to-play players. You can make some variation of this, but this is the pathing you want and the trance abilities you want. All right, and then you can always choose the different boss at the end if the Astral Iron Giant is proving too difficult. All right, so we are going to run over here, get this chest. The very next thing we're going to do is we're going to take on Rufus. All right, so first things first, we're going to take down his pup. All right, let's frickin' go. All right, so the first thing I want to do with Aerith is get off Night Bloom. And defend against the Thunderclap. Alright, after this we should be able to take down Darkstar. Alright, so we are going to take a little bit of a hit there. Alright, and now we are in Rufus, so I'm going to immediately Night Bloom him. And then with Aerith, I'm going to kind of step back and go into healing. Alright, here we go. Switch over for the bright lights. You got to keep in mind he has a fast triangle sigil in here that will pop up. So just keep your eyes open for that. There it is right there. Alright, you do have fatigue. I told you it can be a problem. But we're just going to let it go for now. Okay, keep everything going. I'm just going to go for damage right here. Not worry about the healing. Just go full born. And it looks like he is done. Alright, so that's going to be Rufus. We honestly didn't even get to his counter sigil break. But if you are getting to it, obviously just set up your sigils for that. Alright, here we go. That is the first one down. Alright, so for this strategy, we are going to choose Rufus's physical attack buff right here. It's right here on the left side, so go for physical attack plus 20%. The next boss we're going to go for is the Scorpion. But before I go to the Scorpion, I'm the type of person who wants to take out the ads as fast as possible. So I'm just going to run over here. We're going to get the chest. Then I'm going to run up and trigger the first set of ads, which is up here. Right before the Crisis dungeon makes them stronger than they need to be. So I think that this will help for people that are newer players and they don't have necessarily as strong accounts. Sometimes the random encounters can be a real pain in the ass if you save them till later. So we'll come up here, we'll take out this first set of mobs. Cloud's Murasame is extremely good for taking these guys out very fast. Alright, that's 2 down. And looking like 3. Alright, so there's the first set of mobs down. There is kind of an annoying mob later on, but since he does gravity type attacks, you're not really in jeopardy of dying, but he can definitely bring down your HP a lot. Alright, so I'm going to grab this second chest up here. We'll get the guard jellies. Alright, then the next thing we're going to do is run down here and take on the Scorpion. Alright. This one is weak to water damage. I'm going to ignore the ads on this particular fight. So just go straight for it right off the bat. Try to get Tifa's buff up from No Mercy. And get Night Bloom off on Aerith. I can't remember if the Scorpion Sentinel... Yeah, so we are going to Night Bloom, immediately get down that massive barrier that he just put up. Alright, let's go. I'm just going to keep on taking it down. And with Tifa, we will No Mercy, start to prepare for some damage. I'm going to keep on Night Blooming him down. The moment I get him down right here, I'm going to hit him with the limit breaks. Okay. Alright, this should take a giant chunk out of his health. Alright, let's go. Here comes Cross Slash. Boom. And then after this hit from Tifa right here, we're going to be right near the end. Alright, so here comes Cloud. He's going for C-Splitter. And the Assault Scorpion is down. Alright, so there's the second Crisis boss right there. Not so bad at all. And for this trance ability, we are going to choose our first score boost. Alright. This one I think is only 10% score boost and only a minus 10% to physical and magic attack damage. So you're still in the positive since we chose the first physical attack 20%. So here, choose score boost over on the right. Beautiful. Our next plan of action is to just run up here. Make sure you check your status of your characters, 28%, 13%, 6%. Alright, so I'm just going to go into this fight like this. Okay? And we're going to take on the first Iron Giant. This one is not resistant to elements, is weak to water damage. Alright, so just keep that in mind. We're also going to ignore the ads in this fight. We're just going to burn this guy down. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to Night Bloom right off the bat. Cloud is going to open up with C-Splitter, and Tifa is going to open up. Looks like she breached. Oh yeah, we'll breach him down. This is going to topple him. once we get all of his defense buffs gone, which is going to give us a good amount of time to do some damage to him. Alright, there we go. I'm going to just get him with one more Night Bloom right here, get the max or the mid potency defense buff, and just go full-blown DPS right here. Oh, it looks like they healed him right there. I didn't realize they could heal him, actually. Well, that's something to take note of. It looks like these ads can heal the Iron Giant right here. Okay, we're going to switch over to the guard stance. So actually, it might be more imperative to take out the ads in this fight before taking on the Iron Giant, if they are giving him big heal. That was a pretty solid heal that they just give him, honestly. Okay, just going for damage right here. I'm going to switch over to Kuraga, and let's keep it going. Alright, here comes the Mighty Guard. Alright. I'm gonna Night Bloom it down, get it gone. And it looks like we're gonna be fine right here. Gonna Night Bloom one more time. I'm gonna save my limit breaks for the next fight. Alright, so with Aerith, I'm actually gonna do some DPS right here. We're gonna try and kill him on this interrupted state right here. And Iron Giant is going to go down. That would have definitely been a lot faster if you were to take down at least one of the ads right there. So just keep that in mind when you guys are going into this fight. It is doable, but it definitely took longer. They gave him like, yeah, see, we only got a 51k score right there, and I'm guessing it could have been easily 60k. They healed him for like at least a quarter of his health right at the beginning. Alright, but that is the Iron Giant. Overall, not a hard fight. So here we are going to take the score boost as well. So take the score boost over there. Now we have our total score boost of 20%. Okay, after that, we're going to come up here. We're going to take on the dragon. The dragon is a little tricky, and we are going to take out the ads in this fight as well. As for healing beforehand, I think what I'm going to do is just give them, let's see, I'll put a special supplement on Aerith, regular supplement on Cloud, regular supplement on Tifa, and then, let's see here, I'm going to put a Power Jelly on Cloud, and a Power Jelly on Tifa, and then, let's see, it looks like we only have 3 Power Jellies left, and so, because limit breaks are physical and magic type abilities, you can stack power and magic jellies here. So let's try it out just so we can get some damage. Okay, and other than that, I'm not really too worried about it. I think I'll use one high potion on Aerith, and let's get it. So this is going to be the boss that's going to be hitting us with poison. It's going to come pretty early, but at the beginning, I'm going to take out the ads. I'm not going to be worried about the dragon right at the beginning. I want to take out the ads later on. They get a huge, like, physical magic attack buff going on. Alright, let's go. So take them out. Alright, here comes the poison shriek. I'm just trying to take out that first. We take out, looks like we took out the first ad right here. After this, we're going to go straight into healing Asuna poisons. First thing I'm going to do is healing wind. Alright. That'll give us the Regan that will counter the poison. And then in the meantime, we'll drop the poisons with the healing Asuna and then take out the last mob right here. Okay, so I'm just going to Night Bloom over here and then healing Asuna. Okay, there goes that one. And we are almost on to the dragon. Alright, so Cloud is healed. I'm going to get the Night Bloom up with Aerith. And then I'm going to go straight into Tifa's No Mercy. And then we're going to use the limit breaks right here. Alright, but I'm going to wait for the dragon to start an animation just so I can interrupt it. Alright, let's go. Here comes the first limit breaks. Okay, so as you can see, not too bad at all. It can be way more of a pain if you don't take out those ads right there. With Aerith, I'm going to get a heal off. And we're not even going to get to its sigil phase right here. We're just going to take it out. Ooh, it looks like it blocks lightning damage. Didn't realize that. Okay, so it looks like we will go for the sigil just a little bit here. We'll get the X off. Alright. And it looks like we're basically done. Alright, good to know actually that the Murasame basically does no damage against that guy. Okay, alright, so that's the dragon. That was the 4th fight. As you guys can see, it's, you know, with these choices for the trance abilities, it's overall not so bad against these bosses. But with each video I put out, there's going to be 3. They're going to get progressively harder, but the chance to get a higher score is going to be much better. So for the dragon, let me check my notes. We are going to take physical attack, which is going to compensate for the score boost that we've gotten so far. All right, this will be the last trance ability. Okay, so now we have a total of 40% physical attack and 20 score boost right now. All right, before you leave, come in here, activate this console. Beautiful. That console door is going to open, which is going to open to the last treasure chest right here. Okay, here we go. All right, this is going to trigger our final ad against the really annoying little gravity dude. All right, here we go. I'm just going to Night Bloom him right off the bat. Wait for his first attack with Aerith. And then just do 1 Curaga. Alright, there we go. And we should be good here in a second. Beautiful. Alright, so that wasn't so bad. I basically cast Curaga just as he was casting Dance of Despair. Not really too worried about the damage. We're going to have items before we go into the final boss. But before we do that, let's activate this chest or this console. Beautiful. Last treasure chest acquirable. Alright, so I'm just going to run up here. We're going to grab this last treasure chest, and then we're going to make our way to the Astral Iron Giant. We're going to see how well Cloud's Rune or Blow does for damage throughout the fight, since he won't be able to use Murasame or Maritime Sword. Okay. Alright, so here's the fight. I just want to show you guys I've already gotten it, but behind this dude over here, there are like 50 synth catalysts right here, so don't forget to get those. Alright, so going into here, looks like we have, I'm just going to use 3 elixirs. That'll get everyone's limit breaks up. Okay, then I'm going to use 3 guard jellies on each person, because it's going to raise our physical defense by 50%. Then I'm going to Power Jelly Cloud and Tifa, Magic Jelly Tifa and Cloud. And we are basically good to go right now. Alright guys, going into the final fight. And let's see how it goes. Alright, so this is similar to the Iron Giant EX3, a little bit. It has its similarities. Essentially, when he casts his massive physical attack up, just lower it as quickly as you can, keep him physical defense down, and just slowly go through the battle and do as much damage as you can. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to hit him with the limit breaks right here. Tifa's buffed. He's completely debuffed. And this will open us up to use Healing Wind on the blue stance. Beautiful, doing a great amount of damage right there. He's already at half health. So definitely looking good. We're going to switch over to the defense stance. We'll take his first attack. Looks like we'll have ATB to heal. Alright, perfect. And just go straight back into it. Here comes the big physical attack buff. So I'm just going to go into Omni Strike on Tifa. Cloud will be debraving over there as well. Alright. and I'm just going to switch to defense. Boom. It looks like it's fully debuffed, so we're going to take a lot less damage from this attack. All right, there we go. Switching back to Tifa, we're going to No Mercy. Aerith will get the heal. Switching back to her. I'm going to rebuff up Nightbloom right here. Okay, and it should be just a sprint to the end right now. All right, there's Cloud. We'll ruin her blow right here. You can use the guard stance switch to block his attacks if you need. And it looks like we are basically over right here. And there's the fight. So honestly, guys, not so bad. Definitely not the hardest dungeon ranking that we've had so far. It can definitely be tricky, but like all of these, all of these trials that we go through in this game, there are ways in which to make the content as easy as possible. So I think that this guide, this strategy, this beta will more or less work for almost any player. Like I said, everyone has different things. So if you can't take the Astral Giant at the end, you can definitely still get an S+ score, I believe, from taking on the other specimen right there. All right, so here's our score. It looks like we got a total battle score of 3.48 million. Dungeon clear 10K, boss takedown 505, unused item 133, extra bonus 60, speedrun 9, and score buff 213. So you could raise that speedrun bonus by not taking out the ad that we took out at the beginning by running to the top. So there's a lot of room for tweaking here. On the next video I make, instead of having the 40% physical attack, 20 score boost, we're going to end up with 25 physical attack, 30 score boost. And then in the last video I'm going to try, it's going to be going for the 40% score boost and the physical attack minus 5%. All right, guys. Well, I really hope that this video helps you guys get into the top 100 of the dungeon ranking, or at least get you opened up into this dungeon event itself. Keep your eyes open. I will have a follow-up video coming out in the next day or two, and then a third. So hopefully I should get them out while there's still about half the time left in the event, which will give you guys the time to tweak in what you need in order to, solidify your score in the ranking. So I can show you with this beta, which is definitely not the most refined, I'm currently sitting at rank 28 in group 1. So not bad at all. All in all, I think that this should work for a lot of people. But I just want to take a second to thank you guys. I've been getting like an influx of people supporting the channel, thanking me for the guides. I just want to thank you guys. I'm happy to help you guys play. I love Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. I know that it's not perfect, but I think that they're going to be making it better and better as we go. And I think that it's off on the right foot. So that being said, good luck with the Shinra Building Dungeon Ranking event. I wish you guys the best out there. Get those S+ scores. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.